Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm John Gray, and I'm just plain living here. And I've got a great surprise for you this morning. This is the voice, Mr. Pete James.
The voice.
You've probably heard that voice on commercials and on radio and everywhere in the world. Who's the guy in Nashville that you sound like a guy in Nashville?
I never thought in a million years the announcer of the Titans. And we get confused so often, and I don't think it's the voice. I think it's the enthusiasm for football and all things exciting. We both get excited.
Do they ever mix up and y'all get to swap paychecks?
Oh, wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? I got to meet him on a couple occasions, and he's a very nice gentleman. And he's very skilled, but he does bring an excitement. I've even noticed on the replays of the Titans on TV, a lot of times they'll take his feed instead of the television audio folks. Feed.
Yeah.
Quality announcer.
Well, a lot of times you even notice it. I notice it in our football stands locally. Football fans will have their radio on, listening to Scott Chastain instead of listening to the announcer at the ball game.
Happens a lot.
Because people like their radio folks.
Yeah, and you get descriptions because you have to on radio, right?
Right.
I mean, I really shouldn't be on TV. Look at me.
Oh, you look good to me,
Radio works.
Radio works. But, and Pete's lovely wife is Julia, who has helped us here for ever and ever, amen.
Yeah, she's in the bricks of this old building.
She sure is, and she's the one that makes us all smile before we come on the air. She's a good one.
Y'all see what she does at home.
No wonder you're in such a good mood, huh? So tell our friends out there, how does Pete James feel his day?
Usually not this early. It is a good early morning taping. I right now am between jobs. I used to own Budinsky's Barbecue, but just sold that last year. So
good barbecue it was, my friend.
That is.
It still is.
Still is a great barbecue because my brother's still up there cooking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Julia's brother. So took about a little under a year off to consider my next move. Doing that right now.
Yeah, and Pete's been involved in everything from he was one of the starters, operators, and runners of the public utility television network in Fayetteville.
Oh yeah, big cable town down there.
Yeah.
Hey, I passed a truck this morning.
Uh-huh.
And it said so-and-so's horseshoe service. Is that still a thing? I saw a guy editing your horse program.
Oh, yeah, farriers, certainly.
So they haven't improved shoes enough to make them really popular and like Nike horseshoes?
No, they don't have wingtips. They have, they're still just an old steel shoe.
I was wondering about that.
But they have to, it's a very, and Jerry Harris, our partner who does the walking horse stuff, has gone into depth, and we have had numerous shows where the farriers come on. It's a very important thing because each horse individually has to be fit because of maybe there's something on their hoof that's different from another one. The hoofs have to be shaped and everything, and the shoes have to be handcrafted, just like an English cobbler would for the Lord,
Not something you see every day.
In that
industry,
it's everywhere.
We're so close to it right here in Shelbyville, too.
Sure.
This program airs all over Shelbyville and the surrounding area. I guess I just wasn't thinking.
Well, that's not something that runs through the process of your life on a weekly basis, is how a horse wears his shoes.
Well, I never gave it much thought. I thought with this much advancement in technology, we might have come farther, but they're still metal shoes. They still pound them on with nails.
Yeah.
I'm going to work on that. See, there might be something I get into.
But I would assume in this area and in areas where there's a lot of horse industry, not just walking horse, but out west, that's probably a very profitable business. Anytime
Learn
there's
something every
need
day.
for something, you get to make money.
There must be need. This gentleman had a nice setup, big truck, and he might
Yeah.
even had a horse in there. I don't know.
He probably that truck and trailer. He probably had about 100,000 in those. So yeah, they're doing okay.
Well, thanks for bringing me up to snuff on that one, Johnny.
Go, buddy. And you were talking about sports.
Yes.
Who's your favorite football team?
Well, of
You're a
course,
football guy.
I love the Titans.
Yes.
I'm a pro ball guy.
Uh-huh.
College ball, love college ball, but it's a little too slow for me to watch. I like the quickness and the speed off the line, and
Right.
in fact, I kid around and call it slow-mo ball in a lot of college. Now, of course, you have your Alabama and your larger first-class teams,
Right.
at the upper echelon of the sport. Nothing slow about them.
No.
But I just find it hard to pick an over-under of 76.
Yeah.
The over-unders are crazy in college ball. But I love the Titans. I like the Eagles a lot. They're kind of a team I've been cheering for forever.
Right. Well, it's that time of year for
Oh, yeah.
sure, and college ball is doing what it's doing, and somebody said to me the other day, said, well, Tennessee and Georgia are playing, and those guys have coached together. Georgia's number 3, and Tennessee's in the bottom echelon. Said the Georgia coach will probably take it easy on Tennessee, and I said, no, the people who make those decisions on who gets picked to be ranked for that national deal, they want to see how many points you've beaten people by. They don't.
Yeah.
No mercy. There's no mercy.
And
in
every
that
time,
game.
Tennessee's struggling.
Yeah.
And every time they lose, a friend of mine, Jimmy Jernigan, he dies a little bit more every day. Sorry, Jimmy. I know it hurts you, but we're here for you, buddy.
There you go. I was thinking the other day, and I was watching the Today Show, and they were talking about screens and everybody in their screens, and how everybody just needs to slow down. And it was a really exceptional segment. This one lady, she and her husband he works in tech, but they decided that one day a week they would turn every screen off.
We should talk about the internet more. I contend it doesn't work as often as it does.
But they turn every screen off, their children, their television, their phones, all of it, and they spend a day doing things with each other. They go outside, they play games, they sleep, they read, and the lady said that after that day, they can accomplish more in their work after a day of rest. That's what we were supposed to do.
Yeah.
Is have a day of rest.
Sure, go outside and enjoy your life a little bit, and there's not an app for that.
No, there's not. And so, I write my Lokus.
Oh, yes.
This is number 332.
You have a book out, don't you?
Yes, down at Couches.
That's a good book, too.
Running here, running there, always in a tear. Mom, dad, husband, wife, frazzled by a crazy life. Slow down and take a breath, because it's okay every now and then to let a day just slip away.
Very nice.
So the other morning I woke up and I was sitting there, and Fran said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I got to go." And she said, "Well, Ma." And I said, "Well, the day's getting away." And it was like 6:30 in the morning, and I'm thinking, really? Do I really have to let this 45 minutes or so that I could rest go get by because I feel like I need to be somewhere?
Let it free. Let it go.
Yeah, so I decided that it's okay to let a day slip away. So
It is.
Before this one slips away, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with today's show.
Stay with us.
It was us. We let the dogs out. Bark in the Park is Saturday, November 2nd from 10 until 2 at Wagner Park. Come out and help support the Tullahoma Animal Shelter's Medical Fund during a day of barking family fun that includes dog contests, grooming, pup paw art, a bounce house, and more. Contact Jeff Wilson at the Tullahoma Animal Shelter to learn more.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for one. He's tough enough to feed the man that gave him a lifetime of nourishment. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. That's right. No employee of the month bonus check here. This guy, no. This warrior will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome back to Just Plain Living on Channel 6. Channel 193, as a lot of people know it. That's a very confusing thing. But we're here to set the record straight. Channel 6 is on Channel 193. A lot of things have changed over the years. Channel lineups, I guess, is one of them.
Apparently.
Joining me today here on the program is Miss Chevy Shields from the United Methodist Church at Wesley Heights. Welcome to the program, Chevy.
Well, thank you.
Now,
Thank you.
where does a name like Chevy come from?
Oh, it's a long story.
Make it short.
It started as a nickname years ago and then became a legal name.
So you changed your name legally to your nickname.
That's right.
Can I ask what your old name was?
Deborah.
Oh, well, sure. This one has a lot more pizzazz, huh?
Chevy's more fun.
All right, step it up. Well, you have a lot of things going on down at the church.
I do.
And you're here to talk about them today. I know we're going to talk about Clase de Español.
Yes,
and
we are.
anxiety. I don't know how you say that in the Spanish language.
That's right.
But why don't we talk about what's going on there? Let's start with the Español classes, but there's more.
Yes. Well, at Wesley Heights, we are committed to getting to know our neighbors and to being in relationship with our neighbors. So we have 2 upcoming events, actually classes, that will begin next week. The first is Español, or basic Spanish class, that's being taught by a beautiful friend of ours. That will have 8 sessions, begin on Sundays from 3 to 4, and also it'll meet Thursday nights as well from 7 to 8.
When do they start? What's the first Sunday?
The 13th of October, 3 o'clock. come on over to Wesley Heights and enjoy. You can actually call the church and register.
You'll be learning a new language, but more than that, you'll be getting to know your neighbors.
You'll be getting to know your neighbors, and of course, I've got the gift of gab, so I love that. And learning a skill, just basic conversational Spanish.
Well, that's a great thing to pick up, especially in this new world, I guess.
Yes.
Now, you were telling me about anxiety.
Yes.
And we all have it in this new world.
Absolutely.
What is your angle on it, and how are you helping people with it?
Sure. So on the 16th of October, we will begin a 6-week class, and we're just going to address the issues surrounding anxiety. This is not meant to be a counseling session, but a support group, learning skills for living well and practicing skills together. I think what I have discovered is folks taking this class suddenly realize they're not alone. And we're surely in a harried, hurried, and hassled world with a lot of expectations, some of them unrealistic. And we just join together, again, enjoying one another's company, being in healthy conversation about how to deal with those emotions as they start coming up.
Good feeling to know you're not alone. Seems to be a theme going on down at UMC.
Oh, I'm telling you.
Get to know your neighbors,
Yes.
learn new language,
Yes.
and get out there and deal with it.
Yes, and there are other classes that are coming. We often will do a parenting class. So we just finished a very successful parenting class. How many of us as parents didn't find ourselves in that dilemma of what do we do now?
Oh boy,
with
we
our
start
babies.
there.
We do.
I'm still practicing to be a good dad.
Yes, me too, and my kids are grown.
It's
so
a practice, it is.
It is.
And it lasts a lifetime.
hopefully we'll get it as the grandkids grow up. You know.
Well, at least if we don't, we'll be able to sit back and enjoy our kids trying to get it too.
And make fun of them.
That's right. That's right.
We do have some other classes as well. We have a class on learning how to set boundaries.
For who? Ourselves?
Ourselves.
Oh, that's a good class.
When our yes means yes and when our no means no. How often have you said yes to a project and thought, why did I say yes? I don't have time to do this.
I never thought I'd have to worry about the words yes and no getting confused with each other.
Yes.
But it seems in this day and age, we're there. Up is down, left is right.
Yes.
We're all having to navigate this new territory, so UMC is stepping in to kind of shine a light as we go.
We explore. We're exploring. We have a divorce recovery class. Over the holidays, we're actually going to have a forgiveness class.
Oh,
it's a
boy.
tough subject at times, and
It is.
it's a hard thing to do when we feel that someone has hurt us.
As a guy that keeps a grudge and doesn't feel bad about it, I'm good at keeping a grudge.
We're going to invite him to the class.
But I deal with it fine. But I understand many people do not.
Yes.
You know, I can keep a grudge and it won't tear me down or affect me. And some people deserve for a grudge to be held against them. But I know better, and I know that if I let go, there's less I'll carry.
Yes.
What gives you anxiety these days?
What gives me anxiety? I don't know. I'm feeling pretty good about life right now.
Wow, what
I
is
am.
your secret?
Well, you know, I am at Wesley Heights, which is an incredible place to hang out.
And no secret.
And no secret. The hospitality there is phenomenal.
That's a nice thing to say.
I'm loving there. And I love Tullahoma. I've just moved here. I came over in July.
Where from?
And I was over in the Nashville area.
Oh, that
at a
counts.
church there. Yes.
Still Southern gal down there.
But
Where
I'm
were you at in
loving-
Nashville?
At Brentwood United Methodist.
Oh, yeah.
I was.
Yeah, nice area.
So came over here to Tullahoma, and I'm meeting fabulous people.
All right. Well, we're proud to have you.
Thank you.
Real proud that you joined our community.
Thank you.
So what's up for the church? We have about a minute and a half left to talk about it. Let's go through everything again, starting with the classes. They're for Spanish, but they're also to get to know your neighbors.
That's right.
They start on September 13th.
Yes, at 3 o'clock on Sundays, 3 to 4, Thursday.
October 13th.
October
13th. Caught myself.
Yes.
Sorry.
October 13th, and then that will meet 8 times. So on Sundays and Thursdays. And then on the 16th, the anxiety class. And you can call the church. The information is on the screen. Let us know you're coming, and we'll be there to say hello.
Go ahead and give us that phone number anyway.
It is 931-455-3988.
Chevy Shields, thanks for joining us right here on Just Plain Living.
My pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Clayton has been Tullahoma's family shoe store for over 100 years with a reputation for fashion and personal service. And the tradition continues today. Stop by Clayton and see our large selection of fine shoes.
We're gonna fit your style. We're gonna make you smile. Service and quality at Clayton Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
Ah, the glory days. Running to daylight on the gridiron and chasing a ball with a mind of its own. Cheering the team to victory and marching to the beat of your own drum. Memories that last a lifetime. But sometimes we're reminded of our glory days in ways we'd rather forget. Get back in the game.
The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live and play well.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Hello, I'm John Rickman, and this is...
I'm Pat Welch, and we're here today to bring you the first installment, hopefully not the last, but possibly the last, of Conversations with John and Pat.
We'll be talking about Tullahoma. We'll be talking about things that happen in schools, in the community. First, I want to do a little song. I have been writing songs down through the years, and this is one about my hometown of Chapel Hill, Tennessee. There we have the Chapel Hill Ghost Light. That's probably one of the most known phenomenon around, and this is how that song goes. Well, many years ago along the railroad track one night, a man was walking home and held a lantern for his light. He never heard the whistle scream or the mighty engine pound. He never even knew it when that freight train ran him down. The engineer ran back in time to see the poor man die. But as he neared the tragic spot, a light rose in the sky. The lamp the man had carried was never found that night. Now the old folks say above the track his lantern shining bright, and still his lantern hangs over the railroad, watching every freight train go by. There's a ghost light over the railroad, shining in the Chapel Hill sky. Looking at the ghost light will make your blood run cold. It moves along the railroad track and haunts your very soul. A spirit holds a lantern high for all the world to see, for the old ghost light of Chapel Hill remains a mystery, and still his lantern hangs over the railroad, watching every freight train go by. There's a ghost light over the railroad, shining in the Chapel Hill sky, shining in the Chapel Hill sky. I noticed you didn't go in with harmony on the chorus.
No, John, the best thing I could do to add to that song would stay out of it.
Well, that was fun. No, I understand that you and others from Tullahoma used to come over to see the light in Chapel Hill.
Well, it was a little bit above my generation, a little bit. But before we go too much further, John, maybe we had a prior conversation today where we both agreed that we could bring up things about you in Chapel Hill and me in Tullahoma, and then you living in Tullahoma and me working in Tullahoma, and we're living in Tullahoma and conversing in Tullahoma. But we wanted to be sure that when we told our stories, a good story, it basically tells the truth. It may have a little rough edges on the sides, and we were going to do everything we could not to embarrass our mothers, one of which is 99 years and mine's 85. But so if we insinuate that we've been involved with a caper that we probably shouldn't have been involved in, we want our mothers to assume that we weren't, and we're not going to accuse the other person of actually being there. Now that we got that out of the way, that song was awful pretty, but if the audience had any trouble listening to a country song, the people in Tullahoma heard it that when the gentleman lost his life, he also lost his head. And that as this light and ghost is coming down the railroad tracks at night, that he's actually looking for his head. Now, is that part of it? And
it's
you
hard
just
to imagine without your head, you're looking for the head.
Yeah.
But anyway, yes, it's unexplained, Pat.
Okay.
It's one of those things. It's a mystery.
But that's kind of the basis of it then, to get the truth out there, and where the song cleaned it up.
Though, it was a good place to take your girlfriend, and they'd snuggle up real tight because it was a scary, spooky place, dark. So, it was a nice place to just go and look for the light.
Well, when I talk to people of John Gray's era, they bring up that it was a great place to take a date, and you tell them about halfway over there, the story got more and more gruesome.
Yeah.
And by the time you got there, the girl was really, really scared and needed comfort, and a little bit more clingy than they may have been.
And you didn't act nervous yourself. You might have been, but you didn't show
You
it.
tried your best not to act.
And they in the 70s, somewhere in the 70s, and maybe mid-70s, they quit letting them go out there, and they made lots of arrests because people congregated out there by the hundreds. And sometimes they'd have rifles with them, and they were shooting at the light, to bring it down. And so it was Bill Warner's porch light, I really think. I don't guess they hit it, though. Bill Warner, right down the railroad track, and the track turned this way, and right down there. But
there have been several attempts to have a scientific explanation, though, didn't it? Because I'd heard that
fire or gas in the air.
I heard that there was some kind of refraction of light in a fog.
Don't try to use those big words, Pat, because your sons could use them easily, but they're one's at Harvard and the other one's wherever. But go ahead.
Don't let your limited education at Chapel Hill hold us back, John. But they never did explain it.
No.
And the kids still, after the 70s, when the guns got put up.
I guess they still go there. So the last time I was there, I went out with Keith Bilbrey. He used to be on the Ralph Emery show, and he was interested in the light. And he and I and several others went out to the light one night. Of course, we're ancient, standing on the tracks now, but it was a fun time.
Where did you get on the track? Near the old trestle?
There are 4 different crossings. One is under the railroad trestle, going out Depot Street at Chapel Hill. And then there's one down here, and one there, and then one down at General Shoe, or what used to be Genesco, the old building down there. So there were 4 different places you could sit, look northward toward the light.
You didn't walk, you just sat by the tracks then?
Sat by the track,
okay.
Right.
All right.
It was interesting, and college kids used to go. I would take kids I went to Martin College in Pulaski, and for a couple of years, and then we would drive over there, have a big time, have a good time.
Back on the trestle, John, Depot Street, I think, went in front of your mother's house,
yes,
where she lived before she came
That's
to Tullahoma.
That's the last place she lived,
right.
Yeah.
It's I think most of you may have caught that John said it was a one-lane trestle. It had the road went over the tracks on one lane, and the other lane went under
Most
the
people
tracks.
went under.
Well, when he says most, that's what we need to pay attention to, because I had heard, John, that at times that high school kids would sometimes run under the trestle and not slow down and not wait to see if somebody else was coming, just for the supposed thrill that they gain by going under there at a high rate of speed and hopefully not have anybody on the other side. And again, anybody listening, especially John's mother, this does not implicate John of pulling that off.
But etiquette in Chapel Hill was you blow when you get ready to go under the trestle, because the other people on the other side can hear it, and then they won't come, Teenagers don't hear that lots of times. They got music going or whatever. But anyway, it was a good place to live. And the speed under the track was sometimes a little more than should be. But we have still, the light is popular, because I read about it from time to time. Kids, when I taught school, I used to tell kids that they could look it up in the 13 Ghost Stories of Tennessee. There's a book, and they talked about each one of like the Bell Witch and so forth.
Right. Well, I believe that just probably wraps up our first conversation. And
well, that was about the Chapel Hill Light. And if you're ever interested in going, just contact me. Let me know where you are and where you would like to go over there, and we'll send you in a direction. There's not really good.
We may need to go ahead and say now too, John, that if any women wanted to go, they were afraid that we're out. We're both
out.
Happily married and don't call.
I wonder if Mike, Sarah Stanton, the Curly, different people who do tours, I wonder if they would be interested in going to Chapel.
A trestle light trip. That would be that'd be neat.
Yeah. It would be affordable.
Well, that probably wraps us up to next time. And as Mr. Couch used to say, that's not the end of the story. We'll be back next week. Thanks.
Thank you.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Kia in Tullahoma. Check out the 2019 fully loaded V6 Kia Sorento, up to $6,400 off original MSRP. That's Russell Barnett Kia in Tullahoma, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. And remember, why buy anywhere else?
My wife Jackie has always been the life of the party, but things changed when she couldn't be as active anymore.
They told me I needed a double knee replacement.
It's not as big a deal as it used to be, but she still needed to go to rehab.
I was amazed at how good the therapists were at Life Care. They took really good care of me.
They took excellent care of her, and now she's back doing the things she loves, and that makes everyone happy.
Life Care Center of Tullahoma wants you to get active and live well.
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pleased to have a lovely young lady with me this morning, and one of the most talented people that, every now and then you run across somebody that just oozes talent. Not me, but I can see it in other people. And so welcome with me, Kara Kemp, to our stage. How are you?
Thank you. Good morning. I'm well. I'm in the midst of storytelling and culture building, and it's right where I thrive, so it's a good time.
You just do so many things. Now, you storytell. Mm-hmm. And you culture build. Mm-hmm. Do you have a spa?
I manage a spa. My moniker is the ringmaster of Tangerine Salon and Spa in Murfreesboro, because they are my monkeys. It is my circus. So I do a lot of my coaching and a lot of my testing of my coaching theories on those monkeys there at Tangerine.
Mm-hmm. Excuse me. You're here today to talk about something very special that's getting ready to happen at South Jackson.
Yes. So on October 19th, a very good friend of mine, Mark Lamb, is coming in to teach a storytelling workshop. And he is the Jonesboro's 2018 Story Slam winner. He has been...
And that's for people who don't know, the Jonesboro event.
Yes.
It is a national event.
It is. It is an international storytelling festival. There's 10 to 15,000 people in Jonesboro, Tennessee, the first weekend in October. So his story about a boy and his dolly, it won last year at the Story Slam. It's also been sanctioned by Dolly Parton herself for the Imagination Library. He's been on the Moth Radio Hour. He's been on public radio and National Public Television with his storytelling. And he is going to lead an hour-and-a-half workshop down here in Tullahoma on October the 19th. Yeah.
And that's going to be at what time of day is that?
It starts at 7 p.m.
Okay.
And it is open to, I think maybe they said 13 years and up, but it can be the most novice storyteller or it can be a seasoned storyteller. He's really going to customize the workshop to who is there. And
what day of the week is that?
That's a Saturday.
Okay.
Saturday, October the 19th.
Saturday, October the 19th.
Mm-hmm,
okay.
Yeah. So when you get cold from being outside in this newly delightful fall weather, you come on in and warm up with some stories.
With a story. I understand that. And if you were here when we several months ago, well, not several months ago, it was August, when we had the 40th celebration of South Jackson Goes Country. Kara was here and did, much to Peggy's chagrin, because Peggy had no idea, what was going on, because Kara had come to practice and told a completely different tale, just because we didn't want Peggy to know what was going on, and she had crafted a story about Peggy and the country show, and just delightfully done. And
well, it was a real honor.
And Peggy, let's see, is Peggy having surgery today?
I believe so. You better not tell her business. She doesn't want everybody to know.
Well, she's not having surgery today. Peggy's been harboring a knee for a while, and she's having a little bit of tweaking done on it.
It sure doesn't keep her down, though, does it? Sure doesn't keep her down. But yeah.
That's my rooster if there never is another one crows.
I've been real lucky to grow up in the shadow of Peggy Burton.
Peggy Burton, that's right.
Or rather, I should say maybe the shine of Peggy Burton, not really the shadow.
No, there's no shade on that girl.
No, but it was a real honor to be able to craft a story about her and my life with her, and it was
great.
Beautiful to tell it down there at South Jackson.
It was wonderful. You're so talented.
Thank you.
Other than this storytelling at South Jackson, now Tell us a little bit more about Kara and some of the things that you do. You encourage people. You're an encourager. You're a power builder. You're give us a little look inside of that part of your life.
Sure. So I had the great fortune to grow up around people that had rich stories and the ability to tell them, either through music or through just their character. So I have always believed that the real strength of how we motivate ourselves, how we get things done, comes from being connected to our story. And also just how we build communities comes from how connected we are to knowing our stories, knowing our neighbor's story. Some people call that gossip, but if you know the real motivation behind it, it can build stronger communities and stronger work cultures. So I've spent the last decade really honing the skills of teaching people how to tap into their story, how to be real clear on what their story is, teaching businesses how to really tap into what their motto is or what their story is and why they do business, and build a stronger work community. For people that are performers, I teach them how to tell their story so that they can tell a better one, or tell the one they want to tell. So I produce a quarterly stage called the Bloom Stage, which brings live musicians and storytellers and poets and visual artists together, and we create a story around a theme. So coming up October 24th in Murfreesboro, we're doing Moonlight, Magic, and Mystery. And there are 7 different tellers, a couple of poets, a couple of storytellers. I have a visual artist who has made done a whole piece on Moonlight and Mystery. And then I'm featuring a new songwriter who is just, she's haunting and beautiful, and she has this great voice, and we're going to put a show on.
And where is this show going to be?
That is at the Walnut House in Murfreesboro, right downtown in Murfreesboro, and it's free.
Is that a home?
It is not. It is a really fabulous venue that.
Is that the old post office?
It's not. It's on Walnut Street, right across from City Tile down there, and a gentleman there are 3 gentlemen that have recently opened this spot as a multi-purpose venue.
Oh, okay.
But it has a 285-degree video wall. It's a spectacular building.
Outstanding. And this is free? You're doing this for free?
I do it for free. We'll take donations that go back to the community, and
that sounds outstanding.
But we like to do it for free.
Yeah, that's good. All right, one more time. We're about out of time.
Oh my goodness, it goes fast.
The 19th?
19th, 7 o'clock, South Jackson. Storytelling workshop with the fabulous Mark Lamb. He will teach people how to do their own personal narratives. So they are going to develop a story that is their own, of their own life.
Wow, that's incredible. Kara Kemp. See, I told you, it's just fabulous when young people get around that are talented, and it just oozes, and it oozes from you, girl. Drop some off on me, baby. Drop some off on me.
You got plenty. You got plenty, John Gray.
All right. We'll be back after these messages.
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community, because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family caring for your family since 1932.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome back to Just Plain Living. As the show moves forward here, we start to look at the past. With me now is Rebecca Parker. Rebecca, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Glad you're here. You're here to talk about saving an old school, a 120-year-old school out at Ross.
Yes.
Why are you saving a 120-year-old school?
I am so glad you asked. First of all, there are very, very few old one-room schoolhouses left in the country, let alone in the state of Tennessee. And this is one of them. And it was built in probably around 1890. And at one time, there were 100 students that went to this one-room schoolhouse. And in 1954, all cities took the schools from little schoolhouses and built big cities and big schools in the cities and left these little schoolhouses vacant.
What was the community like back then?
Well, it was very much a farm community, and it still is. It's very, very much a farm community. There were 3 stores and 3 churches. 2 of the churches are still there, right next door to each other. So when you come out, you'll see the 2 churches, and then you'll see the schoolhouse right there, right next to each other, just as it was 100 years ago.
Tell people where Ross is.
Ross is halfway between Tullahoma and Shelbyville. And if you come directly through Motlow College and stay on 130 right through 5 Points, go about 2 more miles, and turn left on Smith Chapel Road, you're right there.
Who all is involved, and what are you physically doing to the building?
2 years ago, we realized that just maintenance to the building wasn't enough. We had to do something to the foundation and to the original windows that were falling out. So we raised money from the community to completely redo the foundation and put in new windows, which was a great expense, about $25,000 that the community raised. So we've done that.
Good job.
We just completed having brand new entries, front and side entries, and we have a new electrical box, and we're in the process of rewiring. And one day we even hope to have indoor plumbing.
All major renovations.
Major.
And getting fancy with the indoor plumbing there, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Now, why are you repurposing the building? What's its future?
Well, the future is here. We use the building. Every month we have our Ross community meeting where we bring in the best potluck dinner you could ever imagine, because it's all homegrown, and a program that influences the community. In addition to that, people have reunions, parties. We still have weddings, even without indoor plumbing. So the building gets a lot of use, but we really want it to be able to be used a little bit more year-round.
If you've been paying attention today, it's easy to see that there is almost a theme throughout this show, and it's about getting to know your neighbors. And neighbors aren't only the people who live right next door. Neighbors are people who live in your community.
That's right.
Can you tell me, personally speaking, how did this trying to restore the past affect your future?
That's a really good question. I think it affects everybody's future. I think there's a a legacy that needs to live on to our children so that the children understand what it was like to go to school over 100 years ago. They have no idea of a one-room schoolhouse where the older children taught the younger children. And those sort of, that history needs to be preserved. So I believe that we have a story to tell. And I'm glad you brought that up because this is a real interesting fact. We had some people go up into the attic of the building to check out the electrical wiring, and they found 7 of the original desks that were used 100 years ago.
What are you doing with them?
Well, they were just the metal part. A local person, many of you probably know Paul Creedle. I went up to Paul and I said, Paul, you're the most wonderful woodworker I know. Can you help us? And he restored all 7 of those desks. And we have them in a little corner in the schoolhouse.
Wow.
So it's really, really important that people know about that.
Get a little tingle walking in there and seeing how things used to be.
Right.
So what do you think the best thing to happen to education in the last 100, 120 years?
Oh, that's pretty controversial, isn't it?
Sure, that's where we are, right in the middle here. But how do you think it's going overall? Are the kids still learning? Are we focused on things outside of the school we shouldn't be? Should it get back to reading, writing, and arithmetic? Or do we lend more to teaching about each other and compassion and understanding? Well, what do you see happening in education today?
I see teachers having a huge challenge, and I think that they're meeting it really, really well. You know, when I grew up, we didn't have the internet. We didn't have all the information available to us that we do now. And so kids growing up now have so much more capability to learn things that we didn't know that we would have to research, and it's there, right there for them. I think that kids at this time are quicker learners than we were. And I'm just impressed, and I'm speaking because I have a couple grandsons that I think are brilliant. They learn things quicker than I could ever imagine. I don't know what I'd do without them coming over and helping me figure out what to do with my remote control.
All right.
So I just think that kids and teachers right now are doing a fantastic job learning and teaching.
What I think about the kids today, the speed that you talk about, how quickly they pick things up, it's astounding. I'm watching them learn in real time on subjects I don't know about either, and they assume so much. They see the world in a different way than we used to look at the world.
They do.
Especially with all this digital age upon us. The production that you see on television these days is things that you couldn't even dream about when I was a younger kid.
Yeah.
And they take it for granted. So somewhere in that lifetime of mine, that happened, and I wasn't paying attention. And you're here to preserve some of these older things, so hopefully they meld together, I guess,
Yes.
by the restoration of this building.
Yes.
Tell me about how the community came together to get this job done.
The community has been together since 120 years ago. We have several families there that homestead, their parents, their grandparents homesteaded there. So when we moved into the community, we were the outsiders, but they completely absorbed us, and we just became part of the community overnight.
We don't use the word homestead anymore, do we?
No, we don't. No, we don't. But
it's good to know we have deep history around here.
We do. And that's why we're preserving the community as well. So this fundraiser is so important to us.
Okay, how do people help? We know we need money. Let's get some information out there. What's your phone number? When's the next time you meet? Those kind of things.
All right. The fundraiser is this Saturday. And I am selling tickets like crazy. They're $10 a piece. You can get a ticket by going to our Facebook page and just say, I want a ticket, and we will put it, and we'll call for you to pick up at the event. The event will start at 1:30 at the schoolhouse, and you'll come and you'll get your ticket, which we'll tear it in half. We'll give you the stub, and this will be your ticket to get into 3 historic cemeteries that are within a 2-mile radius of the schoolhouse. Once you get there, and the presentations are going to be on the hour, 2, 3, and 4, there will be a presenter to give you the history of each of those cemeteries, which is a really rich, wonderful, exciting history on each one.
And a little freaky when cemeteries start talking back to you.
Oh, I hope that doesn't happen.
All right. That's how we're bringing back Ross School. We're glad you could make it with us today, Rebecca.
Thank you so much. I
Thanks
appreciate
for
it.
telling us about it. Folks, help out all you can at the Ross School. We'll be right back with more Just Plain Living.
Smoking tobacco accounts for 3 of every 10 fire deaths in the United States.
Tullahoma Fire Department need you en route to a structure fire, 202 Main Street. Heavy smoke showing. Neighbors advise child trapped inside.
Lighters, matches, and associated smoking paraphernalia are the leading cause of preschooler fire deaths. We as firefighters know that most structure fires can be prevented.
I've got one! Command, this is primary search. We have a victim. Need EMS to meet us at the front door.
Please help us to give you a fighting chance. This can be prevented. Contact the Tullahoma Fire Department for a free home safety inspection.
What's a Tennessee vacation? It starts off like any road trip, and then, boom, adventure and thrills everywhere you look, which happens to be some of the most beautiful scenery in the country. Music here, history there, and all kinds of green in between. Come relax and unwind, or bring the crowd for some stargazing, or stargazing. Whatever you do, come hungry and expect an awesome soundtrack. It's all right here in Tennessee. We're playing your song. For a free vacation guide, visit tnvacation.com.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
You want to.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Here I am right here, and I've got my buddy Gary Cordell, the Coffee County Mayor, here with us today. And Gary is here to talk about a very special day.
Yes. This Thursday, October the 10th, I wanted to share that the governor of our state has issued a proclamation, and I have a copy of that right here for if anyone wants to get online and see that. But a state of Tennessee proclamation by the governor calling forth a day of voluntary prayer, humility, and fasting for our state. And I just wanted to acknowledge that, and I want to thank our governor for having the foresight, insight, and courage to proclaim that and make that a voluntary day for citizens across our great state. And also, we're following suit in Coffee County. I've had a letter to the editor that should be in the papers tomorrow, encouraging the citizens of Coffee County to engage and be involved and participate in that day, this coming Thursday, October the 10th, for a day of voluntary prayer and fasting for Coffee County.
Okay, and what do you think brought this about for the governor to? Is this something that's a national thing that's being done?
He is encouraging other governors across the country to join him in that. I don't know what the beginning of all that was, but I know the governor has, and I applaud him and respect and appreciate him for calling for that. But he has encouraged governors across the nation to participate in that day as well.
Well, you know, I've did some business with him years ago. He did some heat and air work for us and plumbing work on some condos we were building.
Good.
And he's a very faith-based man.
Yes, he is. Yeah, outstanding.
And an outstanding gentleman and a wonderful businessman. And this is a pretty bold step, don't you think?
Yeah, very bold. And I applaud and respect and appreciate him for having the courage to do that. It's time in this nation for that to be happening, in my opinion.
Okay, so no Hardee's sausage and biscuit.
No, sir.
That day?
No, sir.
So you're going, is that a 24-hour?
24-hour fast.
24-hour fast.
And I've got to get ready for that. I love to eat. I told someone I was born hungry and I never got over it, so I love to eat. But it's going to be a good day.
It'll be a good day.
And some of the churches in the county are participating in that.
Okay.
Opening the doors that day to encourage our citizens to come on that day, whatever time they can, to be there for a period of time to participate in that.
So that's a great challenge for all of us, isn't it?
It is.
And we all need to spend a little more time looking at the care and giving to others versus the care we we point everything in a little bit too much and not enough out. A lot of people don't even know who their neighbors are.
That's true.
And we don't care for each other like
That's
we
true,
need
John.
to.
There's something missing there. We've got to reach out to other people and treat them with respect and appreciation and love, and be kind to our neighbors.
Yes, sir.
That's what life's all about and should be about now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to, we've got 8 grandkids, and we're trying to instill that into them.
Well, and that's where it's learned. It's learned. It's not learned looking at a TV screen or at a telephone screen.
Right.
It's learned, and like I said earlier, I was on the opening of the show. You weren't here. I saw a segment on the Today Show where these 2 families have given up their screens 1 day a week.
Mm-hmm.
They pick one day, no phones, no television, no iPads, no movies, no nothing. And that's a day when the family gets together, and she said even the kids now look forward to it.
Mm-hmm. Good.
They play games. They just go sit outside. We have gotten so busy that we don't allow ourselves to re-energize.
That's true.
And that's a day, and the lady said she and her husband both are in tech jobs, and said the following day after that, they're more productive than they are any other day of the week.
And John, if I may just add one thing to that. My whole focus and reason for wanting to serve our citizens as mayor is so we can pave the way for the next generation.
Right.
We've got to be forward-looking and planning and looking down the road. And there's a verse of scripture, if I may just very briefly summarize, in the Old Testament in in Ezra 8:21, where it talks about, and they had been in captivity for all those years, and Ezra was leading approximately 50,000 back to Israel. And it says in that scripture, and that verse really speaks to me, where it says that, and there by the river Ahava, ever how you pronounce that, we stopped and he declared a fast for the nation, so that the Lord could show us the direction, the highway of life, for the sake of our little ones. And John, that verse just runs all over me, for the sake of our little ones. What we need to do at our age and our generation, in my opinion, is to paving the way and setting the example for the little ones for the sake of them.
Sure.
So that they can reap the benefits of this great country.
There you go. Well, we appreciate you coming and talking about this, and
thank you for the opportunity.
I know you're always welcome, and I know you're going to have some other things, because Gary's not really here. He's here as the county mayor, but he's here for a different reason other than politics.
Absolutely. Yep.
He's here
Politics can wait.
Politics can wait, but they are out there, and
they are.
We've got some things to deal with later on about the census and some other things.
We'll talk a lot more about
very
that.
important stuff going on.
Critically important. Yeah.
But this is probably more important than all of it.
So true.
Okay.
So true. Thank you, John.
Gary, thanks for being here.
Thanks for the opportunity to be
All
here.
right,
Appreciate you.
We'll be back after these messages.
Oh, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the paint. I just knocked the tree over. This is the paint doctor. I got the color wheel. Now, you know what a color wheel is? It is the wheel at the Paint Works where you pick all your colors to paint your room. It could be a multicolored beard. It could be a underarm fan. You never can tell. One thing we do know is that it's time to paint. You know, you can make your wife very happy if you go to your house and paint some rooms, or you paint the outside of the house, the inside of the house. It makes them feel very good because you work hard for them, and they like that. All women like to see their man sweat, you know? They do. Honeydew is what they do. And you get to do it too. So you go to the Paint Works at 1960 North Washington Street, and you see David Heikkinen over there, and he's the real paint doctor. He fix you up with color. It's so nice when the color is right. Go to Paint Works today. Martin Senor. See? Martin Senor. Right there. Martin Senor at the Paint Works. Bye, and we see you next time. I'm burning up.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Hello everyone, I'm Fran Gray and we are delighted to have some new friends with us today on the set. It's my pleasure to introduce Miss Emily Gerard and Celeste Green, and both of these women are working with the American Red Cross, and we had the pleasure of meeting recently at a health fair, and they had such a good story to tell that I invited them to come to Tullahoma and to talk about their work and how we can be better prepared. So would you like to start, Emily, and tell us about what you're doing in the Red Cross?
I would love to. So as Fran said, my name is Emily Gerard, and I'm the Disaster Program Manager for the Heart of Tennessee, which covers Coffee County. And one of our big initiatives for this year is Be Prepared. And what that means is to get a kit, be informed, and then to plan. So we want you and your family to be able to be self-sufficient for up to 72 hours in case of a disaster. If you need to shelter in place, which means sheltering in your house, or if you need to evacuate to a shelter to stay there if something major has happened.
Mm-hmm.
And so what that looks like is you need to have enough water for 72 hours, which is a gallon of water per day for each member in your family, and also for your fur friends, your cats and your dogs, and then also to make sure that you've got non-perishable food on hand for 3 days. So I did bring an example kit with me, Fran, that we can kind of go through.
Yeah, I like this.
Yeah, this is very easy, very simple. So you want to pack a blanket, and so this just unzips and it's a blanket. So have one of these for each member of your family. And then again, you want to make sure that you have water. So water is, very important for life.
Yes. And
then I also have a little first aid kit. You can pick these up anywhere, just in case you need Band-Aids, things like that. Then we also have a very old school can opener.
Oh, look at that.
Because when the power does go out, you're not going to be able to use your electric one, so make sure you've got a hand one on hand.
Right.
I actually had to teach my sons how to use a handheld can opener because they were like, what is this?
Well, that's right. But that's like what John has, that he was issued in the Army.
Yes.
And when I can't make an electric one work, if I can't get it in the right position, he just says, just a minute, and he pulls out his old, just like
I think
that.
it's a piece something. It's like a, all the people who are in the military will know.
Yeah.
But you can pick these up at pretty much any of your hardware stores will have that.
Well, that would be good to have anyway,
Very much so. And then your standard baby wipes, because when you don't have access to showering, if you're going to be in your house for 3 days or in a shelter, these are very handy to get clean with. And we use them when we deploy. They'll save you. And then a flashlight. Make sure, very important so you can see at night.
Very.
And then make sure you've got some extra batteries in there. And then also some extra clothes, just because, after, 2 or 3 days, if you're in a shelter, you definitely want to be able to change clothes and feel clean.
Yes.
The other thing, too, is for this day and age, I have a battery backup. And then make sure, it's very important that you have your cords that go.
So this whole thing is a battery?
Yes.
It's not just a phone?
No, it's just not a phone. So what it does is you plug in your cord into it, like that, and then you just plug in your phone into that, and this will charge. This one will charge up to 4 times.
Wow.
So you can get them larger or smaller, but that's what I have.
Well, that's great to know.
It is great. The other thing to do is I carry just a book with a pen in it, also just to write things down, to things that I need to accomplish or things that I just need to know about the house and different things. And then a basic trash bag. So this little item just does not only hold trash. If you have to sit on the ground is wet, this will help keep you dry.
Yes.
You can also, in a really emergency, you can put it over you to keep the rain off, to help keep you dry on it also.
Like an instant poncho, isn't it?
Yeah, it is like an instant poncho. Definitely, it helps out. It keeps you going. And then I have a towel in here just in case I need to wipe anything down. The other thing too is with the communication, is to set up how you and your family are going to communicate. So say you and your loved ones, they work in a different city that they commute, and something goes on in your community, how are you going to get in contact with them? Because the phone lines, they get jammed up because everybody tries to call in, and then you hear that all lines are busy at this time, please try again. So the main thing is to remember is to pick someone who lives in your family that lives far away, so maybe out of state, that you can call into, because it's actually easier to make a long distance call than a local call. So you can check in, and then you can say, yes, I'm safe, this is where I'm at, and so that you can then relay messages back and forth. But it's also important for your kids to have that plan, and then to practice that plan with your kids, because it will give them, the capability of being able to survive that little disaster, or, say if it's a rain event like the flooding we had, if you get separated, it gives them the tools they need to feel comfortable and to feel safe.
Well, that's a wonderful idea, just to have that anyway, in case something were to happen to a family member, even if there's no disaster, but an accident or something like that, that you would have a center point to call and check in with each other.
Yes,
through a person.
Yes, and it's actually, and write those phone numbers down, because we're all guilty these days of just picking up the phone and saying, hey Siri, call so-and-so. And so for people to actually know phone numbers anymore, and I'm guilty of this completely, it's not, you need to write them down and keep them in a safe place, and then distribute them to your family members also on little cards, so you can have that information by hand.
That's a wonderful idea. Well, now, Celeste, when there is a disaster, you need a lot of volunteers to help, don't you?
Yes, ma'am. So in addition to preparing for disasters, we also respond to disasters. But most importantly, we do that on a small scale every single day. And so what that looks like is home fires. And so we are always looking for volunteers to help us respond to those home fires. Over 90% of our workforce is made up of volunteers. And so those are the people that are putting their time and effort into helping these families recover. And so we always need more. And we're always looking for people who are interested in just helping their neighbor, because the closer we have volunteers in the community, the quicker and easier it is to get access and to get assistance to those families. So that's one thing that we're always looking for is disaster action team responders. We always take them in teams of 2, and they just provide the immediate assistance to those families.
Well, now, how does someone volunteer? How do they contact you to volunteer or to be trained to be a volunteer?
So the easiest way is to go to redcross.org. There's a tab that says volunteer. You can browse volunteer opportunities. Like I mentioned, it's over 90% volunteer ran, so there's hundreds of opportunities, but our biggest needs right now are those disaster action team responders as well as nurses, because we do have trained medical professionals who can help families replenish certain medications, get medical equipment that they might have lost in their home fire, and we need medical professionals to verify the loss of their materials, and so we utilize them to get those back. And then we also have what we call dispatchers or duty officers who, if you don't want to go out to a scene, you can be that point of contact to get the message that there was a fire and then send the team out that needs to respond.
Okay. Well, gosh, you all have given us a lot to think about to be better prepared for whatever may come along the way, and to be good neighbors and help those around us when they have a need. I'm sorry our time is up, but I hope you all will come and visit with us again, and we thank you for all the great work you're doing here in Tennessee.
Well, thank you for helping
us share our
Emily
message.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Cindy.
And I'm Jacob. I'm the Rooster.
And I'm the Red Maiden. And we would like to welcome you to
Roosterwear.
Yes, Roosterwear is a cottage industry producing accessories for men, women, children, babies, and pets. All items are hand cut and sewn locally. Roosterwear specializes in bow ties, pocket squares, scarves, cufflinks, neckties, and aprons of all sizes for all ages. Baby products include onesies, diaper covers, bibs, and burp pads. All bow ties, tie it yourself or pre-tied, come with an adjustable neckband. All products can be made with the material of your choice, as special orders are available upon request. Don't be standing back looking at fashion. Create your own with Roosterwear.
come visit us at
roosterandredmaiden.com.
to find our handcrafted designs for
The Cock of the Walk.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Since the moment you were born, I've made 1,000 wishes. Wishes for your future in a world that's changing fast. Do play and laugh. Do win and lose. Do it all with confidence, kindness, and strength. And always do your best to remember that no matter what you do in this life, what matters to me is that you keep doing.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Well, you know, I hope that in my life, one of the things I try to do is bring a smile to people's face, and that's sharing joy. And what could be better to help share joy than hope and faith with the Chamber of Commerce? How are you girls this morning?
We are good, John.
Good.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, you're welcome. And you have a couple of exciting things. You know, if
We
people
do.
come on this show to talk about exciting stuff.
Yes.
We don't like talking about boring old bad stuff. We're getting ready to eat some good food.
That's right. Yes.
And what else? Go on. Tell me.
Well, so we not only have the Taste of Tullahoma coming up on Thursday, October 17th, but we also have the Super Motlow Mixer that's taking place on October 15th. And so on Tuesday, you can join us at Motlow and network and fellowship with 5 other area
Oh,
chambers.
yeah.
Motlow is rolling out the red carpet, and they're taking care of everything. So we encourage people to bring their spouse. You know, it's a free date night. Bring your work coworkers as a team building.
That'd be what, a week from today?
Yes, that's
right. A
right.
week from today on Tuesday.
So
Yeah, that's great.
Tuesday, October 15th at Motlow, and it's rain or shine, because if it's a nice day, we're going to be in the quad, and if it's rainy, we're going to be in the library. And so either way,
There's room.
Yes, there's room. So we encourage people to come out for that, and then we have our Taste of Tullahoma on October 17th.
So that's two things in the same week.
Two things in the same
Fun
week.
things in the same week.
Oh, yes. Lots of sampling to be had in a week.
Well, you know, and that happened numerous years, and then it sort of just fell by the wayside. And, you know, it was always fun.
Yes.
And you get to eat some really good stuff.
We have some really great restaurants that are signed up joining us. We have E-Mills, the Sundrop Shop, and we also have O'Charlie's coming from Manchester, and so we're getting a little bit of the taste of the Tullahoma
girl,
area.
I told you you'd pull some of that off. I've always had faith in you building a bridge over there.
Well, we are just very excited to have the participation, and so I think it's going to be a great event, and hopefully people will come out and join us. And so it's free to attend the Super Motlow Mixer, but it's only $15 to attend the Taste of Tullahoma, and kids 10 and under get in free.
Now, is that going to be downtown?
Yes.
Where's the Taste of, and is it going to be outside?
It's going to
hopefully?
be outside, yes. And so the rain date for that is the 18th, the following day. So if it rains on Thursday, we'll have it Friday. But so far the weather's looking good, so we're not.
So it's sort of like a farm to table kind of an event,
yes,
right?
like a street fair sort.
Like a street fair type deal.
And so we also incorporate
great.
a business expo into it. I'm going to let Faith talk a little bit about how we've incorporated the business expo into it.
Sure. So we've been around asking lots of businesses in the Tullahoma area to come and present what they bring to the community. So whether that's real estate or really print anything, any sort of business in the community, it can be found at the Tullahoma Expo.
You know, and one of the things that you folks need to understand, you know, a lot of times you have people say, how do you know what's going on around town? How do you know what's happening here? How do you know what's happening there? You do not have to be a business to be a member of the Chamber of Commerce.
Right, you can be an individual.
An individual can be a member of the Chamber of Commerce, and then you get all that information blasted to your computer or in a newsletter or at the coffees that you go to. And, you know, you don't have to be a Chamber member to go to a coffee if you just want to see what's going on. Just go to a coffee and meet some of the businesses and some of the individuals that are members. You'll probably know a lot of those people and think, hey, this is a pretty cool way to keep up.
Oh, it's a great way to stay connected.
What does an individual membership to the Chamber cost?
$40.
A year?
Yep, for the year.
That's nothing.
To be an individual member. And so we would encourage anybody who's interested or has questions about the benefits to reach out to us at the Chamber, and we'd be happy to go.
The benefits are incredible.
We'd be happy to let them know. But we appreciate your support and you being such a big fan of the Chamber.
Every Friday, and every Monday, you get this thing comes in from the Chamber, and it says, okay, here's what's happening this week. Here's the ribbon cuttings that are going on. Here's all this stuff going on. And then you also see things that are going to be happening in the future.
Yep.
And then there's a business of the week that Chick-fil-A sponsors a business of the week.
Right.
And all this neat stuff there. Oh, and even who's looking to hire.
Job opportunities.
Businesses, job opportunities are there. And so you get that. And sometimes you delete things from your computer. Well, guess what they do at the end of the week on Friday to where you don't miss anything over the weekend? They send another one to you that lets you know, hey, if you forgot, here's what's happening between now and Monday.
John, you're paying attention. We like it. We like it a lot.
We all need to be informed.
That's very true.
About what's going on, because life is so busy. That a lot of times, and I did the same thing at South Jackson. We were having the Oktoberfest down there a couple of years ago, and some people had been to Jack Daniels to their whatever event they were having, came by and said, well, why didn't y'all advertise this? Well, you know, we all advertise. And I asked him, well, what rock are you living under? You know, it's been in the Chamber. It's been in the Chamber. It's been on the newspaper. It's been on television. Where you been hiding? Well, how am I supposed to know? And I said, $35 a year, you can be a member of South Jackson Civic Center, and they'll send it to your computer. What a great thing. And just like the chamber, you want to find out what's going on? Join.
Right. Yep, that's right.
You can't beat anybody up but yourself if you don't know what's happening.
We also, Faith does a great job of keeping our social media up to date so that everybody can stay in the know with Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Twitter. That just doesn't. That's like a carpet shower. It just sounds weird. Twitter. I don't want that. Facebook's good enough. LinkedIn.
We have.
Nah. You can't do all of those, or you won't do anything else. You won't get any work done.
That's
keeping
true.
up with all that stuff. That's why you're there.
That's why I'm there, and it is a full-time job.
Yeah, it is
that's
a
for
full-time job. Okay, again, the dates.
So
Motlow
is
a week
October
from tonight.
15th from 5 to 7. Taste of Tullahoma is October 17th, 4 to 7.
4 to 7, and it costs $15. Motlow is free because they're celebrating 50 years out there.
Very exciting.
The biggest secret in the whole part of the state, Motlow College, but a wonderful place. Folks, we'll be right back after these messages.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Ford of Winchester. Check out the 2018 Ford F-150 as low as $34,739. That's Russell Barnett Ford on 41A in Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. And remember, my question is, why buy anywhere else?
You made the time and the sacrifice to broaden their horizons, to see their smiles, but mostly to make lifelong memories. We think it's time to do it again, just the two of you. Don't let illness or injury slow you down. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live well.
It's time for every family and business in Tullahoma to go green and recycle. Tullahoma Public Works makes it simple and easy to recycle. Just place your recyclable materials, paper, plastic, aluminum, and cardboard beside your garbage container on the same day your garbage is picked up. Your recycled materials don't have to be in a fancy container. Recycling is not only the right thing to do, it makes sense. Recycling pays. Paying to bury our garbage costs each of us. Please do your part. Let's go green, Tullahoma, and recycle.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Good.
Bye.
Bye.